Hi, Josephine, and welcome to day 5. We're super excited. I'm in Dubai. You are in Berlin. And it's almost the last day of the week. I mean, we have just today, tomorrow, and then we will go on to the live coaching call. And today is about your tips and tricks on how to be more frugal. I'm happy to learn more. As I said in one of the videos earlier, I certainly can learn from you. And since we are talking about learning, yesterday's video was about, no, not yesterday, the day before, about savings. And you know what? I thought it got me thinking that my whole life, I really had issues with saving. As I told you, I was able to save because either I was investing in something, in a property, for instance, or I was saving because I was buying something. So let's say I wanted to buy something that costs 500, 1,000 euro. I was able to put some small amounts on the side each month because I knew at the end I would really get something. However, saving 10% of my income, you know, when I started working or even after, I always thought, what is 150 euro going to make as a difference? What is 200 euro going to make as a difference? When I'm, even at the end of the year, you know, I have 1,000 euro. What do I do with 1,000 euro, 1,500 euro? Then coming here to Dubai, I had a lot of time in the plane, uninterrupted. And I started making this really fun exercise. I just, you know, it took me 2 minutes. I roughly calculated since I started working in 1999 until today, knowing that there were really, really long periods of time where I did not have a salary because either I was doing an MBA and for 2 years I was out of work, or I was jobless between jobs, or the worst thing, I started my company and I was putting all the money in my business, and like for 3-4 years I did not pay myself a salary. But I calculated if I had saved from all this time 10% of my monthly income, how much would I now have in the bank? And I was really shocked because it came up to 75,000 euro. And this is without counting all the, you know, students' job that I did. And I was working like crazy when I was a student. I did so many babysittings, you had no idea. Summer jobs, bonuses, I didn't count. Also, like when I sold my first apartment, if I'd kept 10% on the side, you know, or some money my grandparents gave me when I was young, or whatever birthday gifts, I didn't count that. So I'm sure if I would factor this in, the amount would be at least double. You know, I would have at least 150,000 euro on the side. And so my emergency fund would be covered.
More than that, huh? Especially if you take into account compound interest rates.
Yeah, so well, and so that's what I wanted to say, because this was just the flat money. So the compound interest, I think it is worth going back on it just very, very, very briefly. But basically the concept is that if you put 100 euro in your bank account, and let's say it doesn't happen right now, but you have a 5% interest, at the end of the year, you get 105 euro. But the following year, you don't get 5% out of 100 euro. You get 5% out of 110, out of 105 euro. So I calculated it's like it's based on 100. So you get 110 euro 25, and then the next year you get 5% of 110 euro 0.25. So this is the concept of compound interest, right?
Yes. Yes. And it is extremely powerful, and actually most people don't understand the power of compound interest. So it really makes sense to look a little bit more into details, and you can find one file in your workbook. There's one graph where you can see the effect of compound interest when you invest a certain amount of things in stock.
So if I'd saved this money for all my life and until now, and with the compound interest, I'd probably be around maybe what, 200,000 euros, something like that.
Yes, easy. Yeah, I think.
I mean, So you know what? And the other thing you always say, and I really listened to what you said this week, is you said it's never too late to start, but also start as early as you can. So now I'm starting this. And also I think it is so important to teach this to our children, because in school you don't learn anything about savings, about your money, about how to invest your money, and this is so important. So I also made the decision that I will start educating my children very, very soon, as soon as they understand, you know, about this concept.
And open a bank account for your kids and start investing every month or every year. It's very, very powerful. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into, let's get started with today's subject, which is how to be more frugal. And I believe that you have a lot of very interesting tips to share with us.
Yes, I do. I think one of the most powerful tips that I use myself, and I didn't use in the past, is the gratification, the delayed gratification rule. But if, for example, if you go shopping and you see a handbag and you just love it, or a pair of shoes and you really want to buy it, you don't buy it immediately, but you wait up to 110 days. For some people 30 days can be enough, but for me I need to wait a little bit longer. And then if I wait for 110 days and I still desperately want the handbag or the pair of nice shoes, then okay, I buy it. But if I don't need it anymore and I don't want it anymore, then I saved I saved money again.
But it's really, because 110 days is like 3 months. So like I'm thinking about fashion, I mean, the stuff would already be in sale and it would already be gone in any ways. But so it's very long.
Yeah, okay, but for fashion, we could talk about fashion in another video call, because I think, you know, I'm not a big fan of fast fashion. If you really like a handbag, you should not use it for 3 months, but you should use it for, if possible, a few years. Yeah, so it doesn't really make any difference if you buy it now or you buy it in 30 days or in 3 months. This is my opinion. But yeah. So then after the delayed gratification rule, it is very important to go back to one of our first recommendations about the 6 steps. Yeah, follow the 6 steps of the pyramid, you know, where you start with your savings and your emergency fund, and then you think about how to prioritize your spending. So think about what you really enjoy. Is it fashion, perhaps? Okay, then it's fashion. Or is it food? But you cannot have everything. In general, most people cannot have everything. And then I would love to give you some more like really specific tricks where you can really save money, but also where you can make a little bit of money. So I think very important is to buy seasonal products. I'm not talking about regional products. They don't. It's really about seasonal products. So when the season of mangoes is there, then just buy mangoes, but don't buy them, or strawberries. Don't buy strawberries in January. Buy strawberries in June or in July, and they also taste much better. And you save a lot of money if you accumulate and you do it on a regular basis. Then try to repair things yourself. It can actually be really fun, you know, and I'm quite proud of myself, because last year, at the end of last year, my dishwasher was broken, and I managed to repair it myself. I looked into one of the YouTube recommendations, and I was so proud of myself, and it took me, like, I'm not kidding, it took me less than 30 minutes to repair it myself, and I saved a few €100.
I was about to say that if you would call a plumber in Paris or to repair your dishwasher, you would pay €200. It's crazy.
At least, yeah. Yes. And then mostly they tell you, you need a new dishwasher. It's not worth, So and it was not so difficult. I was quite amazed myself, also because, you know, as a woman, I mean, most women think, okay, this is the job of a man, but it's quite easy to do it. And it's not only the dishwasher, but many things you can really repair yourself. Then what I really do, I really go to the public library, especially for my kids, not so much for myself, but for the kids. I really go to the public library, and I really enjoy having new books every week. So we have a new fresh book every day, and I don't have so much stuff accumulated in the room, you know, because also everything is, yeah, it accumulates, and then you have more and more books, and you have to get rid of them. Then again, or even more, renting stuff instead of buying. For example, last year, I got rid of my car. And think about it, I'm a German. I always had a car. My first car, I had my first car when I was 18. And this is really the first time in my whole life that I didn't have a car. And I now have no car for 1 year. And yes, I do miss it sometimes, I admit. But I saved so much money, and especially if you live in a big city, it might be different in the countryside, but if you live in a big city, you have so many options. You can take public transport, you can take the bike, or you can use car sharing.
Yeah, then, but even a taxi, I find that, because I'm like you, I live in Paris, I don't have a car, but so I usually go by metro or by bicycle. But when I want to take a taxi and I'm with the kids or whatever, it's late or it's raining, or, you know, I just get the taxi, because I think even if I end up spending over 100 euro in a month in a taxi, if I had a car, I would not only have to buy the car, I would have to pay for the car park, which is like 250 euro per month in the center of Paris. Then I would have fines, then I would have to repair the car, then I would have to put petrol, which is 80 or 100 euro for when each time you fill up your tank. So I think, you know, I save a lot of money, so then I don't feel guilty when I want to get a taxi. And the rest of the time, I just enjoy my bicycle and I'm exercising, and it's super nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, true. Then cook yourself and bring your own food, like healthy food, to your work or when you travel. You know, don't be trapped and buy this, you know, €5 2-day-old sandwich at the airport when you travel, or at the train station. It doesn't taste, it's expensive, and it's not healthy. So bring your own food whenever you can. Same for the office. And then invite your friends and enjoy like fun gathering with your friends, and cook at home. And then yeah, it can be as nice as going out for dinners, and you can try something new. So be inspired. Yeah? And then finally, on the saving parts, try not to buy coffee to go every day. If you do, really enjoy it. This is, I think, one of the most important advices I can give you. If you do something you really enjoy the little moments. Also, when you go to the park, enjoy the flowers. You know, we have spring coming up soon. The sun is hopefully coming soon again, and it doesn't cost anything, but it's really enjoy the little things. And yeah, and on the income side, so there's one advice I can give you. If you want to have more income, I talked about it last time, that you should negotiate your salary with your employer every year, and there are a few other tricks, but try to think about what additional income you could generate, like what you really like to do and what you can do. It could be repairing things, yeah, for your friends or your neighbors, where you could get a little small salary, but it could also be writing a blog, or having an Instagram account, or yeah, doing some videos, some editing, doing web pages for people who like to have a web page. There are so many things to generate income, additional income, and it can be fun as well.
Mm-hmm. So great, thank you, Josefine. It's so nice, and I cannot wait to implement these tips in my life. So now the work, I think, for everybody, what we want to ask everyone to do is to, you know, don't be too specific, but first of all, I think it's a fun exercise to do what I did on the plane, and to look at how much you would have on your bank account today if all your working career you would have saved 10% of your income. Just make a rough calculation, and then I think just try to feel, how does it feel? How do I feel with all this money on my account? And I'm sure you will feel the peace of mind. Then from there on, you can move on to the abundance meditation. I think it's a very nice meditation, and it's you can listen to it all over the week and again, and then, you know, even after the program is finished. From your method, Josefine, from the 110 days delayed gratification, what is the exercise we could ask people to do?
Like think about one thing you would like to buy, and that you could delay your gratification.
So start with
also,
one,
if you think,
2 or 3, how many?
Yeah, yes. Or think about a dinner invitation you have. I mean, now with COVID, people are not going out anyway, but think about any expenses you could try not to avoid, but try to rethink. Like,
okay, so try to be smart in the way that you did.
Yeah.
Like, you gave us examples, but people need to be creative and see how they can incorporate in their everyday life, right? Okay.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Josefine. All the information as usual, but also the graph on compound interest, the work for today, everything is in the workbook, and we will see you tomorrow for the last day of this week on the FIRE method. Thank you and goodbye. See you tomorrow. Bye. Yeah. I was about to say that
my dishwasher was broken.